What's up, and welcome to our podcast, Toast to Tea.
We're two friends that love the world of celebrity and pop culture and talking about it with you.
To join our world of celebrity, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to our podcast. Now hit it.
It's about that time.
Wait, where's the Chris Cam?
To say cheers to our world of celebrity.
1000%.
They're back together, and it feels just right.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya.
Raise your glass.
I'm Maddison Hill.
And I'm Courtney Revolution.
Because it's our moment to
Toast to tea.
Hello, Courtney. We are back and better than ever.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm singing. I've been watching too much Real Housewives of Atlanta where Candy Burruss sings like just randomly to remind everyone that she has the voice of an angel, and I love it.
I may be small. Huh?
Courtney, if you can believe, in my rewatch, I'm finally at season 14.
Whoa.
I've been putting in a lot of work, a lot of hours. I mean, this
May
has also
I ask you
taken
something?
me months. What?
Can we have some justice for the Kim Fields season of Real Housewives of Atlanta finally? I love that season.
I'm cracking up at you bringing that up because Christian's also rewatching, and he was texting me. He's like, Kim Fields, why is she crying over missing her husband? And I was like,
love it. I love it, and I miss her, and I wish that the girls trip were a thing because she needs to come back.
I do miss her because, I'm not going to lie, Drew Sidora is not doing it for me.
No, Maddison. You got to get to season 15.
Okay.
I love Drew.
Season 13 and 14.
She's literally the only returning housewife for season 16.
Oh my God. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about season 16, but that is crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
I really grew to love Drew. I don't remember if I liked her on season 14, but I think by season 15, I definitely was like, when the reboot happens, we need Drew to come back.
Okay, I'm hoping, because right now I'm just a little
That's
50-50.
like Drew and LaToya, right? Is that season?
When she comes on, no, it's Drew and, yes, Drew and LaToya.
That
was like LaToya was the COVID season. And
I think so.
Yeah, I think, you know what? She just would have one too many cocktails when the cameras were rolling. You know, I think people get nervous and people just drink a little bit more and then it ends up backfiring. That's also when Miss Portia ends up going for Simon, who was married to a friend of. That whole thing was a situation.
Poor family.
As well. I know.
Poor family.
Yipes. I
didn't see Portia taking someone's husband.
Neither did I. That was not on my bingo card.
Yeah, it was not. But hey, it happened.
It happened, but now it is backfiring. If you see any headlines about Portia and her divorce, it is not amicable in the mother effing slightest.
No, he's like preventing her from filming in the house and stuff.
Yes, he like changed the locks on her. And again, just if you got a man under crazy circumstances, don't think there's no way he'd ever do that to me because he'll do it to you. He will do it to you.
With Dennis, the hot.
You know? Okay.
I love him. I don't care.
Okay, thank God. Because I was like, am I wrong for loving him? I know. Did he mess up when Portia was 9 months pregnant? Sure. But did he own up to it? He did. Yeah. And you know, my thing is always own up to it and prove to me that you've changed and you're a better person. And he was. He's changed. He's a better person. And obviously, I'm going to root for someone who owns a hot dog establishment. Duh.
Dennis is not perfect by far.
But he got it together.
He got it together. I like him.
He got it together. And again, hot dogs for life. The math ain't mathing for me why you would let that go. I think also too, if you watch like this, now I'm even into the spinoffs, Portia, Family Matters, you know, I do think that they still had love for each other at that point.
Yeah. It was just volatile at that particular time period. That's
God, I could just go on and on about Portia and Dennis. I really could. But Courtney, there is one other internet sensation that I need you to explain to me why this girl is blowing up. The Haktua girl. Have you been seeing this?
I see the phrase, but I don't know where it originated from.
I had to go deep because I was like, why the hell is everyone talking about this? I also saw a headline that was like, Haktua girl gets signed by UTA. And you know, that set me off. That set me off because I said, if anyone should be getting signed to UTA, it's Courtney Revolution and Maddison Hill.
That's
Not
like
some
the Harry
girl.
Daniels kid, you know, that walks up on celebrities and like sings to them.
Yes.
And he goes, period. He got signed to like some sort of like entertainment something.
Okay, at least he can sing. This girl literally went viral because of man on the street interview. And the guy asked her a question. It was something like, what do you do in bed that makes you unforgettable? Something about like what you do in bed to make sure a guy never forgets you. And she goes, sometimes you gotta hack to on that thing.
So she get a career off of that?
So when I saw that UTA headline of this girl saying she's just spitting on someone's, to make him not forget her, I lost my mind. Thankfully, TMZ came out with a report and was like, she's not getting signed, because I was like, what the actual F? I was so irritated. But she even has like merch. And now that I went on this hole, I get stuff about Haktua, whatever, however you say it, all the time now. And I need to get it off my For You page, because I'm like, I don't like this. It's not for me, actually. I don't know who it's for, but it's definitely not for me.
I don't like the fact that she's getting a career off of this.
That's how I feel.
It's like a catchphrase?
It's literally her like talking about hawking a loogie on. She said, literally, she's like, sometimes you gotta just poo on that thing. I was like,
girl, have some couth.
Just a skosh. Like, oh my gosh, you know me. I'm not a prude, but sometimes when I see people say stuff like that on the internet, I do clutch my pearls, because I think that shows my age. You know what I mean?
Bring back shame.
Like, I'm just like, that's like.
Bring back shame. Because we need to know less about each other, period.
Literally, I think that just shows my age. Like, I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't find that funny. I don't find that charming. I just think about, like, how my parents would react if they saw me behaving like that in college and saying something like that on the internet. Absolute. Like, my parents are cool. Yeah. Do not get me wrong, but that is a line that they would not want their daughter crossing.
Yeah, that lives out there forever at this point. So.
Ever. I don't know. I just, that a lot of internet things confuse me. And that is one internet thing that this week I am just puzzled.
Ugh. Well, bless her. At least
that is
she
true.
can make some money.
That is true. I'm sure she's going to make $1 million off this damn thing. Meanwhile, we're hustling with our talent without having to
feel
to
better
up.
once we're rolling in our millions, man.
Exactly. We're going to be backstroking in our millions, and I cannot wait. And then I'm not even going to think about Haktua girl.
Who's that?
Exactly. And just the thought of just even talking about hawking a loogie, sick. But also the other thing I want to discuss with you, Perfect Match, because I know you've been watching, and I know the community is going to want to hear your thoughts on Perfect Match.
Girl.
What do you think?
Okay, Perfect Match Season 2 was not a bad season, Maddison. I think that it definitely had its flaws. I think that in order to enjoy it, you have to go into it understanding that this is entertainment.
I think that's key.
TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's super key. And I think that sometimes the fans get caught up in the real of it all. Like why aren't they still together? This is not real. I can't believe that. I'm like, this is TV. And a lot of these people went on there, to try to get their followers.
I was going to say, also remember too, this show is not the first show that these people are on. Exactly. So whenever you see people returning for multiple things, you have to also just like in the back of your mind, remember, this is their job now. This is what they're doing. This is not their first rodeo. Like they are going in with a goal in mind.
Yes.
And if they find a match, it's a bonus, but that's the bonus a lot of the times.
Yes, it's not
the goal.
First priority. Yeah.
Yes. And I think
get the most screen time.
Yes, and I think people get wrapped up in exactly why aren't they actually going for the match? Like loved Jessica on Love Is Blind. Remember, that was her first show. She was going into that blind, not only for love, but also as a reality star for the first time.
Yes, ma'am.
By the time she's going on Perfect Match, she already knows she's that girl. She already knows that the audience eats up her little one-liners. she has a daughter at home to take care of. She's going to do what she needs to do to make sure that daughter is taken care of.
Now, Madison, why this lady sat up here and cried on camera, talking about I don't know how this reality TV stuff works. I said, girl.
No. I saw her little T-Mobile ad with Lauren and all those other people. This is no shade. I mean, she is getting a bag bigger than the one I have right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I'm just saying, you have to take into account of that. Do not take everything at a surface level, I guess, is my biggest thing. Like, when you're watching these shows, enjoy it. We all love a little mess. We love an escape from our crazy life that we are living, because life is freaking hard. You know what I mean? But also remember not to believe every line that these people are feeding you.
Yeah, as long as, the story makes sense, and the winners make sense. Not that this season's winner didn't make sense, but I feel as though, Netflix was in some sort of like time crunch or something, because the first season had 12 episodes and this season only had 10, and a very strange finale. So, let's get back to basics for season 3.
I agree. All right, we'll be on the lookout. But Courtney, I feel like now we should just go ahead and get into the tea.
Yeah, girl, let's get
ready?
into the tea. I got my Alani.
I'm ready to hydrate. Oh, I'm boring. I'm drinking water.
I got my Alani. Everybody drink Alani. They didn't pay me for that.
It's because, I was out of town last week and I ate and drank so much. I'm like,
Really?
my body needs water. It's like the crypt keeper asking for water.
My
Okay, kicking things off, talking about Miss Katy Perry.
Your
favorite.
girl. I was cackling.
I am so happy you added this to the rundown, you guys. Katy Perry has started the promotion of her new single, Woman's World. It's already facing controversy because she has returned working with Dr. Luke. Obviously, we know Dr. Luke and Kesha do not have a good past. Dr. Luke has worked with Katy Perry a lot prior to this. He worked with her on Last Friday Night, California Girls, which is one of my songs. E.T. Courtney, I need to know what you think of her promoting this song, because she does look good. It looks, her body is giving some modifications. I think it might have been a little jab. No shade. I think she looks fabulous.
You are silly.
Does she not look thinner than she did on American Idol?
Yes. But maybe she was doing some kickboxing. The kickboxing to melt the weight.
Maybe. I've done kickboxing and I didn't transform that quickly, but
You are silly, man.
each their own.
She said it's giving transformation.
It's giving Christina Aguilera, okay? Woo!
Christina Aguilera transformed.
Christina Aguilera's new person popped out.
You are so
Sorry, that's like immediately what I think. Candy man. Okay, anyway, Katy Perry. What do we think about her? Just like the fits that she's been rocking, the Dr. Luke of it all, the promotion of it all. What do you think of Miss Katy Perry?
I think that Katy Perry is in somewhat of like a do or die situation when it comes to the music. The career is always going to be fine, but when it comes to the music, I think this is like a do or die situation. I'm not too sure exactly where she's going aesthetically. She's like topless with a fur coat on.
Then she has robot legs in another day. It's just like.
I don't really know what the theme is just yet. Are we going to space? What is it giving? Are you a fashion girl? She had like the train that was like 30 miles long. Like, I don't know what exactly it's giving, but the music needs to be really, really, really good at this point. So we shall see. I've heard the little snippet and I'm not convinced, but I'm going into it with an open mind.
What do you think of the Dr. Luke of it all? Misstep, or she's doing it because she needs the hits, and he did give her a lot of hits.
I mean, is Katy Perry in some sort of like contract with Dr. Luke, or does she like seek him out herself?
That's what I'm also curious about, because it does feel odd. I just feel like unless you've been living under a rock, Dr. Luke like maybe isn't the best person to attach yourself to. So I'm hoping it's contractual, because if she's just doing this because she does need a hit and she knows he'll give her one and she's overlooking what he did to Kesha, unfortunately, that will be another strike for me against Katy Perry.
Yikes, Katie, you're clicking down with the Maddison Hill of it all.
You know, because I'm just like, that's not. We know he didn't treat her right. Like, we
Yeah.
know that. That's not an alleged thing. You know, they
Mhm.
went to court and we heard it with our own little ears. So
Mhm.
hopefully it's contractual. And if it is, then, you know, girl's
can't
doing
really
what
do
she's got to
anything.
do. We can't control that. She can't control that. And I'm sure if she could get out of it, she could.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Because it's bad PR and she knows that.
Yeah. And I think maybe that's where the stunty fashion fits are coming from.
A
Of like,
distraction.
look over here, not at me working with Dr. Luke. Maybe
Look
that's.
at my ripped leggings.
Yes. Look at my robot legs and my 30-foot long train. Did you forget I'm working with Dr. Luke? We didn't, but it is a nice distraction for a second. You know?
Maddison.
I'm just saying.
You won't get one past us, Catherine.
Literally. I do feel like now, though, the trend of artists is to kind of go in a drastic different direction than they have previously. So maybe that's what Katie's going to do for us. I don't know.
All right. Katie, I always say, like I said with Camila, I want my artist to experiment, so I can't be mad if you're doing something different, but I want it to make sense to me personally.
Right.
Sooner than later. But either way, good luck.
Good luck.
To the Katy Cats.
I will probably give it one listen. That's so, like, if you hook me in the one listen, I'll keep giving you a listen, but I will only give you one. And it's got to be within, like, the first 45 seconds.
Catherine, you're on thin ice over here. Madison's strict with her
Well,
strings,
because
girl.
I got TTPD. I'm still strict. I see so many, like, little clips of podcasts here and there, and there's, like, these shady people who are obviously trying to get views, and they're like, who is keeping TTPD on the charts? And I'm like, literally me.
Me. I'm playing it out.
Me. Every time I take my
My
ass
boy
outside. Yeah,
loves
literally.
to break his favorite toys.
Yes, hey,
Literally.
are you kidding me? I look
Thank
in
you.
people's windows. Are you serious?
Okay, iconic song. That has also made its way up on my favorite list.
That's a hit for like 2 little minutes. Ooh.
Are you kidding me? I'm like, that's crazy
So
for me
good.
that people are questioning who's keeping it on the charts. Like, go for a walk and listen and it'll hit.
Girl.
Trust me. It's okay. As we've discussed, not all the girls get it, you know?
Not all the girls get it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it is sad, but we are going to talk more about Taylor later on because you know if I'm doing any sort of content this week, it's involving Taylor and Travis, and God bless Courtney for just letting me have that moment. But before we do that, Courtney, let's bring it back to talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta because I have been dying to know your thoughts about this. Because Miss Kenya Moore has really been in the headlines this week. Everyone is talking about her. So, a little backstory for those of you who are like, why do we care about Kenya this week? I'm also asking that question, but we need to talk about it. So, Kenya, you guys, was recently suspended by Bravo while filming the current season 16 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. When this suspension happened, there were rumors that Kenya showed photos and or a video of a new cast member engaging in sexual activities at an event that Kenya was hosting. She was hosting the opening of her Kenya Moore hair care spas, okay? People were calling it revenge porn. It was a huge thing. Like, all the Bravo blogs were losing their minds over it. Kenya being Kenya has obviously responded to these allegations over on her Instagram. She posted several photos of her and her daughter Brooklyn on vacation. She thanked, her twirl squad for support. She said her team twirl, her conscience is clean, and that fans shouldn't believe these anonymous sources. She was like, if they're telling the truth, why are they anonymous? Which I'm like, that's just life in today's day and age, but okay. She said her life is blessed. Her and her daughter are thriving in a non-toxic environment. And then she denied the rumors and the narrative that she showed nudes or revenge porn. She said she has proof and she will share soon. She also got support from Brandi Glanville right before we were getting ready to record this. Brandi came to her defense on Twitter saying she's pretty sure producers pushed Kenya to show that video. And then she followed that up on Twitter saying, create the villain, enable the villain, praise the villain, then punish the villain for being a villain. Obviously, Brandi and Bravo don't have the best relationship right now. But what do we think? What do we think of this Kenya situation, Courtney? What do you make of it?
Honestly, Madison, I have a bunch of questions. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so like, I know that this Photoshop photo of there's this photoshopped photo going around of what people were trying to say was the photo Kenya put on posters or whatever. It's not real. There was like some paperwork I saw in some real photos that said like insurance fraud hoe on it, which to me is not, a fireable offense.
Yeah.
Um, this is a bad decision. I want to go
Mm-hmm.
on record and say that. I think that this is a bad decision. And the reason why, Madison, is because we have watched Housewives for a very long time. We have
Mm-hmm.
seen legs thrown. We've seen, sexual abuse allegations. We've seen physical abuse, Beverly Hills. We've really seen it all in terms of like, really bad situations on the show. We've seen, Portia and Kenya even, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone was still allowed to work.
Mm-hmm.
Why does a poster get Kenya removed from the season?
Right.
What code of conduct does Bravo have that Kenya broke? Because if that were true, then there would be a lot of housewives. Like Monique literally beat the shit out of Candace. And
Right.
she was offered a contract. She turned it down, but she was offered a contract still. So, like, what's the code of conduct?
Well, I also think too, this is not necessarily out of Kenya's character. Like Kenya pulls stunts all the time.
Absolutely.
Like this. Like her doing the insurance fraud thing, when I was like, that is not shocking to me.
Yeah, textbook Kenya.
Like
She's
that
making
is
good TV.
I mean, remember Marlo's wig event? She came in there with a freaking drum
Kenya
line
Moore hair
screaming Kenya
care.
Moore hair care. Like to me, when I was hearing grumblings of her pulling a stunt, I was like, I'm confused why this is even leaked, honestly. This is like par for the course, Kenya.
Can I
But
say something though, Madison?
Yes.
Something that sticks out to me that's a red flag is, and love them down. I really, truly do. I'm actually a fan. B. Scott is, a celebrity blogger that is friends with Kenya, and they have done interviews where they said that they felt that what Kenya did was too much. And this is her personal friend that she like leaks stuff. Like when you hear that she like leaks stuff to the blogs, the blogs is B. Scott.
Yeah.
So like it was very weird for me to hear B. Scott say those things, and it made me be like, okay, well, what actually happened, and why don't we have footage?
Right.
A photo.
Because
something.
I'm like, then was it worse than what people are saying? Like, because I agree with you. I mean, Portia literally, and I like Portia. Okay, this is no shade to Portia. But Portia literally grabbed that girl by her hair and dragged her to the ground.
Yes, ma'am.
Incredible television. Shocking that neither of them had any consequences. So, I mean, when you look at even the history of the franchise, it does feel a little crazy that something like this would get somebody suspended. Like, this is the line that we're now drawing in the sand. I don't know. I just feel like Bravo has explaining to do. And I'm curious about Kenya's proof as well. Like,
because she said she has proof.
She said she has proof. So I feel like knowing Kenya, she is probably taking some legal action behind the scenes.
That's what I heard. Is
You
that she's
know,
taking legal action.
I'm very confused about the situation. I feel like people are saying little tidbits of information, but no one's painting the full story, which I'm sure they're really going to try to hold it out as long as they can so it can be captured on the season. But we need more information because I agree. Also, I feel like the one thing with Bravo that makes it hard too is everyone loves to put their 2 cents in. So even people who were at the event, I feel like they send in blind items and they are commenting, so it's really hard when it comes to Bravo stuff to sift through the BS because there's a lot of people putting BS out there because they all want to be attached to it.
Madison, just one more example. You mean to tell me Kenya got suspended after Stassi slapped Kristen like that?
Okay, Vanderpump
After
like,
Sandoval punched Jackson in the face like that? They stayed on TV for years after that. And you mean to tell me insurance fraud hoe and maybe a picture is going to get you pulled off a show like that? Truthfully, I feel like Bravo kind of been like, and this is not shade, speculation, not confirmation, allegedly. I feel like Bravo been kind of waiting ever since, and you go and watch this if you haven't, Madison and Community. Kenya did an interview with the icon, the reason why we have a lot of our good moments on Real Housewives, Carlos King. You watch his interviews, Madison?
I've seen some clips. I haven't seen the one that you're specifically talking about.
The one he did with Kenya. She says a lot of things that I think
She was a
Our,
little
our
too chatty.
I think she was very open about how she felt about Bravo's treatment of her this past season, season 15 of Real Housewives, and I think it was like, okay, well, girl, if that's how you feel, then that's how you
Yep.
feel. That's kind of like what it's giving. But I think that she was right in what
Mhm.
she said then.
I also think they're being extra cautious with all of the lawsuits against. Well, I guess it's mainly that one big lawsuit, but multiple people are attached. Obviously, Brandy's upset. Caroline Manzo is suing. We also have, oh my God, why can I not think of her name from New York?
Bethany.
The girl who, no, not Bethany. Oh my gosh, the girl who had the Leah McSweeney. She's suing
I
them
forgot.
too. She's the one who was like, Andy Cohen does coke with
I didn't
housewives in the
really
bathroom.
like her on Ultimate Girls
Neither did
Trip.
I didn't like her when she was on New York. She was like, there's rarely times when I watch reality TV and I question how people pass psych. And that is no shade to
Maddison,
Leah
you
McSweeney.
silly.
But like, genuinely, that's crazy. Like,
Oop.
and I'm
Oop.
saying that my dad's a psychiatrist. I worked in his office. I have seen the gamut of a lot of people. And those checks are in place to keep the person safe and the cast members safe.
Yeah.
And they're a very important part of the reality TV process. And whenever I see some things that look like some people were moved through who might have not been moved through, I'm like, someone should be in trouble for that. Because you're putting multiple people at risk in that situation. And I think she maybe should have not been pushed through, and she did set herself up and be in situations that were unhealthy for her that now she's suing over. But I also think that's why Bravo now, with things like any sort of little grumbling of something that they could be sued for example, a revenge porn situation, I think now they're just like, we're going to cut it. We're going to nip it in the bud before it can even get worse.
So do they like edit around Kenya? Do they edit her out of the show?
I feel like they can't edit her out.
You saw the season with Fallon, right? So you saw the episode where they was at Fallon's house already? And how they edited Kenya out of the episode. Did you see that?
Oh, I guess they did.
They did. Every time Kenya spoke, when she had the Native American costume on, it like cuts to the
Cuts
wall.
to her.
Or it cuts to like the moon, or it cuts to like B-roll.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I noticed it one night when I was not sober, and I think I literally laughed until I was in tears.
Okay, well, that's because her also explanation of that at the reunion, she was like, I am 1/16 Cherokee, and so that's why it's not offensive. And I'm like, girl, I live for the commitment, but like, sometimes you just have to say, I messed up. Like, you know what? That was on me. That was on me. Don't sit up there and tell me your great-great-great-grandfather was XYZ and you spoke to somebody from the tribe. I was like,
girl,
Courtney, that was bad.
It was bad.
That was bad.
But Bravo said we ain't gonna lose this episode though. Fallon lost it. We got to keep this one. So we're gonna have to just cut to the wall, girl. Keep talking. LaToya lost it that episode. They literally had to cut around Kenya. It was hilarious.
It is so funny. You guys should watch it. I think that's season 13, 12 or 13.
Or 14, whatever the season Fallon in.
It's 13 because it's the one right before. Yeah, you guys should go watch that because it is pretty. It is funny.
Will they call Sheree back, Maddison, before we move on?
I'm just in the I just finally got to see the fashion show of She by Sheree after all these years, and Tyrone shows up out of prison. Woo! Crazy. Atlanta is an iconic franchise. If you have not done a rewatch, I highly recommend. Well, because, watching it when it was coming out on TV versus watching it now, rewatching a lot of stuff as an adult, so much better.
I agree.
Just so much more iconic. And also now it's getting caught up to real time, which I love. But does Sheree come back? I don't mind Sheree. She is a little boring, but I think I have a sense of nostalgia and love for her because she's a day one.
Yeah.
I have to give her my respect.
Hate her, but it's fun. It's fun to tug her wig a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Every now and then, because she's just unintentionally hilarious.
Oh, exactly. And if you don't think I was looking at the She by Sheree website last night,
Madison, please.
While watching,
you're gonna spend $300 on a sweatsuit?
Okay, that's what I was shook about. I said, you know me, I am easily swindled, and if I really want something, I will figure out a way to make it work, but there is no way in HE double hockey sticks you're getting me to pay $250 for a sweatsuit from She by Sheree.
Is she?
Hanes with a little logo on it. I am not doing that.
And the logo looked like Jeffree Star logo with that.
Yes. God bless Sheree. I want her to get her coins. I want her to keep up her mortgage on Chateau Sheree, but I cannot.
Not on your dime, girl.
Not on my dime. It's going to have to be on somebody else's. I do not. Once Courtney were making the money we were talking about before this went live, maybe I'll throw Sheree a little $250 for her sweatsuit, but
Yes.
before that,
And
not
wear
yet.
it proudly. Yes.
And pose and tag and make me part of the influencer program, for free. I will do it just to support Sheree. But yeah, that was crazy. I was shocked by the prices on that website. I was like, Miss Ma'am, absolutely
You
not.
think we stupid.
We have 3 brain cells up here, and they all rub together just perfectly fine. Okay, so we're okay. Courtney, let's talk about someone else who, honestly, I am concerned at his brain cells and what he has going on. Because we haven't gotten to talk about it. Justin Timberlake,
Girl.
he's been going through it too. Him and Kenya.
Girl. Where was Justin Timberlake going, Maddison? Tell me. Matter of fact, you tell a story, girl.
I don't know. So you guys,
where was you going?
I'm sure at this point you know, Justin Timberlake was arrested last week for DWI in Sag Harbor. He was leaving the American Hotel Bar. He was following his friends out, ran a stop sign, got pulled over, failed the infield sobriety tests. His friends tried to ask the cop to cut him a break. The cop had no clue who this man was. Pulled a Keke Palmer. I do not know who that man is. What world tour?
That is what killed me.
Kick a man while he's down. You know what I mean?
You're going to ruin the tour?
What tour?
What tour?
That little police officer
Me AF.
said, I'm really going to ruin this man's life. Like,
I said, it's not the NSYNC tour, girl. What tour? Me.
I was dying when I'm like, who leaked that to Page 6?
I'm going to send that cop.
Someone in Justin's circle is not his friend because that is hilarious.
Who told Justin Timberlake to go on tour, Maddison, alone?
Well,
that man is not selling tour tickets. I checked.
Also that.
He's not selling this. You need a Joey Fatone, Lance Bass, JC Chazé.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember, for several years, he thought he was too good to get back with NSYNC. And now, all of a sudden, when it's convenient for him, he likes to remind people, oh, I was a part of that too.
That's because Britney's book hurt him.
Mm-hmm. And all the other little scandals he's been in. This is just the newest one. Well, ever since the DWI, obviously everyone's been looking to Jessica Biel because everyone's like, this poor woman, he puts her through the ringer, okay? Yeah. First this week, we had a report from People magazine where a source shared that she was, quote, not happy with Justin. She found his arrest to be distracting because she's filming a new project. The source also noted how Jessica doesn't like any attention on their family, especially negative attention. There were other reports saying that this might have been Jessica Biel's final straw. That was coming from a report from Life and Style magazine. However, as many women do, she picked herself up by her bootstraps and she showed up for this man's most recent show at Madison Square Garden. She was backstage, she was singing, she was dancing. She was dressed very low-key, but it was definitely a PR move to show people that they're a united front. I don't know. I understand she loves her husband down and that is your man and marriage is in good times and in bad. But you've embarrassed me like 3 other times before this. I don't know if I'm showing up to Madison Square Garden this soon after the incident. I would think I would make you at least like doggy paddle for a couple weeks. And then I come in and save the day for you. You know?
You said for better or for worse, girl, I'm wifey. And that's my man. And if I want to look like a clown, then I'm going to look like a clown. Boop, boop. That's what she said.
Which, like, more power to her.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't be me. But Jessica Biel, do your thing. Come on.
Like I said, I would have, like, eventually shown up for him, like, in person. Obviously, behind the scenes, she's been involved in the situation. But I think I would have made him wait a little bit before I showed up in person. I just don't think it would have been right after. I think I would have made him, like, get a little upper lip sweat for a second before showing up.
Did you see that concert video of him where he looked crazy, like a rabid raccoon?
Where it looks like he's on a powdery white substance because he can't blink his eyes? Yes.
Not this. I was shocked. I said, now, Justin, this is not Rock Your Body, Justin, and we need you to get back to somewhat of that moment. Because what is this? This is no good.
You know what's even crazier is somebody came out and spoke to TMZ this week about that video, like somebody from his team, and they were saying this narrative that he was on anything is false. He doesn't do anything before his shows. He does every show sober. He likes to be clear-headed. His shows take so much out of him that he couldn't even do a show if he was on anything. And I'm sorry, you cannot watch that video and tell me
That's not me, right?
that man is clear-headed. His pupils are the size of Texas.
Yeah. He
Even
looked
the
very,
backup
very strange.
dancer, is like, she kind of is even like, what are we doing? Like she's like trying to be like, like you can see her for a second. She's like, she's got the panic eyes. She's got the panic performer eyes of like, what are we doing? His eyes are open so wide. I was afraid they were about to bulge out of his head.
It was a very strange video. If Justin Timberlake needs some sort of help, I hope that he gets it. But also, karma. Say sorry to Brittany and Janet. Bye, girl.
Well, that's the problem. If you remember when he was getting started on this tour, he got up on stage and says he apologizes to absolutely effing nobody.
Well.
And I think I would have more empathy for him if he didn't do stuff like that. I didn't see the video with my two eyes, but I heard that after his arrest when he was in Chicago, and that's the show where he like apologized to fans and was like, I know I'm hard to love sometimes, blah, blah, blah. But he apparently mimicked his arrest while singing Sexy Back. He's not doing that. He didn't do it at the show that Jessica Biel was at because I'm sure his lawyer was like, you're an actual idiot. Do not do that. But that's just where I struggle with Justin Timberlake. Like, if this happened to him and it humbled him and he was like, you know what? I messed up. Whether it was one martini or two or three or four, I screwed up. That's on me. But my issue with him is he screws up and he is never humbled by it. He never takes accountability. He makes a joke out of it. That's my issue.
And it's, at the end of the day, it's not cool to, like, put your life and the lives of other people, like, on the road in danger because you want to be careless. Like, you get what I'm saying? And also, shame on all of those other officers that clearly have let him go with drinking and driving in the past. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this is, like, clearly a regular thing where, like, he gets pulled over and is sort of giving, like, the do you know who I am type of moment. And thank the Lord, this young man was like, we don't know who you are, Gramps, and can you step out of the vehicle? Period.
I just also, like, the fact his friends were like, can you let him go? Like, also the amount of privilege to be able to do that.
Yes.
Because I think that's also what irritates me, too, is just, like, knowing other people who have been pulled over who I know, and it's like, never in a million years would they be given that same privilege for their friends to even have that conversation with an officer before they are immediately given an infield sobriety test, immediately asked to breathalyze. I mean, just like, I don't know. I think for me, I'm over Justin Timberlake. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. I'm over him. For me, 5 strikes, you're out. I'm over you. And I love Jessica Biel, and I respect her for better or for worsing it, but like, shit. Behind the scenes, he would be on the thinnest of ice, like the thinnest. When I tell you the ice that I would have that man on, this thin. And if he did one
thinner than
thing,
a Kraft single.
Literally, like goodbye, good night, sign on the dotted line. Like there's just, I don't know. I would be over him.
The music's not even good.
There's
like
also that.
Like the new music is like not even good on top of that. So like shame on you for giving us bad quality music and making bad quality decisions. Shame on you, ramen noodle hair. Bye.
Not ramen noodle.
Yes. Call an Uber, dummy clown.
I
Stupid.
know. You know what's crazy is People Magazine also this week like somehow spoke to the bartender who was working at the hotel. And the bartender was like, he did only have 1 martini here. So if he was drinking more, it wasn't here. I'm like, his lawyer is earning every penny that he's being asked for because we had that report. Then we also had, there was someone who spoke to the New York Post about how like they think someone in the restaurant tipped the cop off to follow Justin. Like,
Either way, he was driving under the influence.
no, I know. Either way, he failed the infield
You
sobriety
going
test.
to jail.
Like,
period.
either way. Yeah. And he was out the next morning, so it's not even like it was,
Yeah.
like, whatever. Anyway,
Corny.
ramen noodle here, we're going to go ahead and move on and talk about someone who brings us joy, peace, positivity, light. And Taylor and Travis, it is finally that time of the episode, and I
Thank
could
the
not
Lord.
be happier. Courtney, before we talk about Travis making a slightly shady comment to Joe Alwyn, I need to know, what were your thoughts when you saw Miss Taylor Allison Swift brought her man on stage at the Eras Tour?
Oh, I gagged. It was completely unexpected, and my first immediate thought was Joe would never. So I'm glad that, like, if this is what Taylor wants in a relationship, then, like, I'm glad that she gets it in Travis. Like, they're both like, in the most, like, respectful way. They're both, like, delightfully showboaty.
Yes.
And I think that is exactly what we witnessed, was these two showboats coming together to show the world that, like, they're these really outroverted, like, performers. Travis a performer just like she is. So I like
he's
that
a
he was
little
willing to
ham.
participate. Yeah.
Yes. And I love that he, like, fully wore the outfit,
Yeah.
fully wore the top hat, fully wore the shoes. Like, it was not a half-assed introduction. Like, he
Yes.
committed to the bit. I've seen so many tweets that are like, Taylor finally found someone to match her freak. And I'm like, but literally, though. And that's to your point of, like, that level of, like, hamming it up, that level of, like, a little bit of overdramatic for the showbiz, you know? And I think she's also finally found someone who, like, is, like, lean into the cringe. You know, she said that during her Time Magazine interview, and I loved it. And I feel like Travis finds her cringe, like, so cute, and she finds his cringe so cute, and I love it.
It's
I
a
love
match
everything
made in
it.
heaven.
It is a match made in heaven. And also, we've been fans of Taylor since debut. Have you ever seen her bring a man on stage?
No.
I
Not
was
that
trying to
can
rack my
think of,
brain.
no.
I was like, no. She has posted other men on her Instagram.
Of course.
Now, going
Like, to
Instagram
have
official.
the man be in a performance, like.
That's what I'm like, we have never seen that. That's how you know it's for real, for real. I did love the Instagram photo, though, of Travis with two future kings wearing a USA hat.
Please.
In case you were curious, he is American. Just like, in
Oh,
case you needed a reminder.
America.
America. I was
America.
dying. I was like, he really said British men have treated my girl like trash, and her American superhero is here. And honestly, I'm not mad about it.
I laughed as I was listening to the song off the Tortured Poets Department, The Alchemy, because she says in the song, these blokes warm the benches, we've been on a winning streak. I said, not the Joe bullet in the middle of this lyric that I never noticed before, because you ain't have to say blokes. So she's letting us know that Joe gonna catch this bullet in the love song to Travis, period. I said, not this Joe string. I'll take it though.
I'm here for it.
Stopped me in the middle of the street. I was like, wait a minute.
Especially because you saw his little interview he did.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. So he did a little interview, and I forget who. It was like the Sunday, it was with, I think the Sunday Times or whatever. He was promoting his new movie with Emma Stone. And he made a couple comments about Taylor, and he was like, you know, we were in a fully committed, loving relationship for 6 years. Just basically giving like the most PR of PR answers, saying that they both decided to keep their relationship private, how he's, you know, in such a fantastic place. He's surrounded by intelligent, enthusiastic people. And the fact that interview came out, and then we had everything that Taylor did in London, I'm like, Joe is annoying. And
he's boring.
He is boring.
He's boring.
He just does not match her level. At the end of the day,
he looked like Woodstock from Charlie Brown.
Not Woodstock.
Yep. He looked that little yellow creature from Charlie Brown.
I know who Woodstock is.
Mm-hmm. Community, don't you agree? You could tell us.
I'm dead. Well, Travis obviously is not giving Woodstock. He's giving.
No.
I don't even know.
He's giving thick ham hock at the butcher. Yeah, it's that corn-fed.
It is Cincinnati because he is from Ohio, and then that barbecue from Kansas City. God, I just think he is a fantastic looking man. What an upgrade, honestly. God bless Taylor.
What an
But Travis's interview that I wanted to talk about with you on Bussin' with the Boys, it's a Barstool podcast. The way he just like also Joe Alwyn caught a stray bullet in this interview, similar to The Alchemy, and just like the most calm, collected, slightly petty way. So first, he made a comment about how he's not going to hide their relationship. He said that obviously there are certain things that they want to keep private, they want to keep to themselves, but at the same time, that's his girl, that's his lady, and he's proud of that, so he's not going to hide it from people. Which also, if you listen to the end of But Daddy, I Love Him, she has a line in there that I'm his lady, and I'm like, okay. So Travis makes an appearance at the end of that song too. BRB, unwell. Then later in the interview, they asked Travis to rank his top 3 Taylor songs. He said Blank Space because he's a 1989 girly. Cruel Summer because...
Period.
Right? I knew you were going to be happy about this. He was like, because the first time I saw her show, that's one of the songs she opens with, and it's an absolute banger, and everyone's hyped. And I was like, honestly, he's not wrong. No lies detected. No lies. Then his third favorite song, he said So High School. Because he's a little cheese ball. And he goes, it has some sentimental meaning. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Because you were touching her.
Jumped out.
I literally, iconic taste. I was like, Cruel Summer and Blank Space, and then obviously you say So High School. And finally a man who like owns the songs that Taylor writes about him. Whereas before it's always like, oh my God, she's writing songs. And Travis is like, she is writing that song about me, bitch. Yep, that's about me.
Joe sucks. Shout out to Travis.
Literally, he loves it. Okay, but here's where the other shady part comes in. So the other guy said, one of the hosts was like, he loves Blank Space as well. Another one of his top songs. He likes Sweet Nothings because he sings it to his daughter.
Fine.
And then he said another one of his daughter's, or his songs, favorite songs because of his daughter is Karma. And so the host is like, wait, Travis, who is Karma? And he's like, is it Jake Gyllenhaal? And Travis like didn't even sweat. He's like, what? No. Like he just like doesn't really answer, which I'm like, wrong era. Host Jake Gyllenhaal was about 2 albums ago, but you know, whatever. But still, the way that Travis didn't even sweat at one of Taylor's exes being brought up, he just like literally just kind of kept it pushing. Then the host said, oh, it's Karma is the guy on the screen. And Travis said, it was.
Ate him right up. Because we ain't even going to watch nothing you put out, Joe. Bye.
I was dying. It was. Now it's Karma's the guy on the Chiefs.
I know that's right. Period.
Coming straight home to me. I just lived for every second of that. I mean.
That's what Taylor was doing when she saw that part. You know how she do her little dance?
Her little side to side.
Yup, I know she did just that. Yup.
I know. Because for a second I was like, do you think Taylor's going to be mad that he's talking like this openly? But then I was like, no, she's going to live for every second of him saying it was. And there
That's good. I like him.
Right? There were some people who were like, that wasn't shade. He was just answering the question. I'm like, oh, when the guy said, is it Karma is the guy on the screen? He could have easily said, yeah, that's the lyrics.
Yeah.
But he said, it was.
He said maybe once upon a time ago.
Yeah, he said maybe a year ago, not now. Karma's the guy on the Chiefs. And to make this moment just more iconic, Courtney, to your point, you are right. Taylor was living for it. A source shared her alleged reaction to Life and Style magazine. The source said that she's proud of Travis and she feels like he, quote, keeps proving that he's her guy through and through.
In parentheses, Joe is trash. I know that's right. Yes. Come on, Tree. Yes.
I'm living for this. I love it. I love them.
They have good synergy, I think. They look good together. It seems like they have a fun, organic relationship. Like, this doesn't give PR relationship to me at all. And I like that they're so open and big about it. And I hope that they stay together, honestly.
Me too. I'm happy you said that because I feel like people have always thrown that around of like, this is for PR, this is for PR, this is for PR. And I'm like, you think this woman is going to bring a man on her stage for a PR relationship? Like, educate yourself on pop culture history. That's just factually incorrect.
Yeah, that's not Taylor.
No. And you sniff out a PR relationship better than anyone. So I'm like.
Yeah. This is not, I don't think that this is fake. It comes across as like genuine. I think by now someone would have like slipped up or done something weird
Right.
that would have kind of given it away. But I think that
Mhm.
this is like the real thing. And she deserves this.
Oh, absolutely. I also think, too, their families wouldn't be as involved if it was a PR relationship.
I agree.
Like, I don't think Jason Kelce and his wife Kylie are coming to 2 London shows for their brother to be in a PR relationship.
That's so cute.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Travis is putting his arms around Mama Kelce or Mama Swift for a PR
Just because,
relationship.
like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that just doesn't even make any sense to
So
me.
it would be like a waste of time to like
Yeah.
get so close to someone's family and stuff like that, and it's like a stunt.
Exactly. Also, his brother was like speaking so highly of her. I've been drowning in Tavis content this week because I'm
Good.
just so
It's good to
obsessed.
hear people say nice things about her, like publicly. Because
It's
we know
been
how
so
sometimes people
long.
get weird about Taylor. Like, and
Mhm.
it's like, it's okay to like her. Like, if that's your girl, if that's like, your sister-in-law, basically, then like, say
Mhm.
something nice about her. Why not?
Exactly. And I love that he's always like, they talk about her work ethic, her talent. Like, it's not just like, oh, she's super famous.
Oh,
so
she's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, he could really answer how was the Eras tour in 2 words and be like, oh, we had a great time. But no,
Mhm.
he like expands on how talented she is, how she can do that in front of 90,000 people. I saw he did a new interview where he was like, I would need to change outfits after doing one song that she performs. Like, he just, because he'd be sweating. He talked
Yeah.
about how he cried seeing the kid get the 22
Aw.
hat. Like, I don't know.
That's sweet.
This is not PR. This is real. And can we just, instead of feeding the negativity on the internet, like, everyone should just be happy that these 2 people are happy. I feel like people rarely celebrate happiness anymore.
Go outside, touch some grass, and be happy for someone else today.
Oh, I love that. I feel like that's a great segue into putting it in the teapot.
Oof! I know that's right.
It really is. And Courtney, we actually have a put it in the teapot submission this week,
Okay.
which I love. It was actually my bad. I missed it for the last one. So, Katie Gomez, Caitlin, I'm sorry. But just a little reminder, if you want to put in something to the teapot, email us at toasttoteapod@gmail.com, or you can comment below if you're watching on YouTube, send us a DM on Instagram or TikTok. We want to hear from you. Remember, these can be personal, these can be celebrity related, whatever you just want to get off your chest.
Tell us what's on your mind.
That is what these are for. Okay, so Miss Gomez, I just needed to put this in the teapot that I'm reporting back about those mozzarella sticks from Chili's. I'm living for this. Now, Chili's, you did not need to pop off like that. Even Alice, her daughter, enjoyed them, and that girl knows her food. Also, their new watermelon margarita. Courtney, we need to go to Chili's.
Yum.
So yum. After 2 years and 8 months of breastfeeding, your girl is free. It's been a beautiful journey. She gave up mommy's milk on her own. It's been bittersweet. But y'all, I finally have my body back to myself, and it's time to focus on my body and healthing it back into shape. Being a mom is hard, always putting your child's needs first. But now it's time to put my health first so I can be the best version of myself for my daughter and boyfriend. As Courtney said in last week's Treat Yourself, and I will start doing that because I've been neglecting myself for way too long. Thank you for letting me pour into the teapot. Love you both. We love you!
God, Katy Gomez, my girly. She's been
I
around
love
for
this.
a minute. I really love that.
Like, since our old jobs, first
Yeah.
episode, been in our corner, been supporting us. We actually remember when she was pregnant with Alice, when
Yeah.
she gave birth to Alice. So I
That's
feel like this
crazy.
is like a big full circle moment. I'm so excited for you. I'm so happy for you. And thank you for the shout out of the Chili's mozzarella sticks and
Yeah, I gotta get
validating
to
me.
Chili's.
Yeah, thank you for that also. But I'm just, treat yourself, girl. Focus on yourself. And I think you're so right. I think moms especially, dads too, but moms especially put so much pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
And you are kind of the one who always holds everything together. So I think it is totally, totally, totally earned and deserved that you start focusing on yourself a little bit too, because Alice is obviously thriving. She has great taste too if she loves mozzarella sticks. So you don't even have to worry.
It's like you've given like so much out. Now it's time to like give to yourself now. You know?
Exactly.
You deserve it.
Yes. And we got you. The community has you. And wow, Courtney, this is a fun episode. I'm so glad we're
I know,
back.
right?
I'm living for every second of it. You guys, make sure you are following us over anywhere that you listen to your podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like this video, subscribe, press that notification bell. Also, share this podcast with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
If there's someone in your life who loves good celebrity tea, loves just, a little chat, a little giggle, please.
A little silly man in sunglasses indoors.
Exactly. Share this podcast with them. Also, you guys, don't forget, if you're listening on Spotify, to participate in the Spotify poll. You can also follow me at I am Maddison Hill on Instagram and TikTok, at Maddison Hill 93 on Snapchat. Courtney?
You can follow me on Instagram at Courtney Revolution and at Court Revolution on Twitter, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Yes, show us some love also on social media at Toasted Tea Pod. And on that note, you guys, we will see y'all next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day.